You've seen the ads, sleek designs, big promises, built to last. But what if some of the most trusted car brands were lying? Today, we're revealing the manufacturers that sold you luxury and delivered regret. Backed by data from consumer reports, owner reviews, and industry recalls, this list exposes the vehicles that fall apart, which got us thinking, why premium brands are topping the failure charts? What model has 12 recalls and counting? And which electric truck ranked dead last for reliability? Stay with us, because what you learn here could save you thousands in repairs and resale losses. Volkswagen. Starting at number 11 is Volkswagen, a brand once hailed for German precision, now infamous for over-engineering. What used to be a symbol of European craftsmanship has turned into a labyrinth of complexity that frustrates both mechanics and owners alike. Unlike Japanese automakers that prioritize simplicity and ease of maintenance, Volkswagen designs its vehicles with tightly integrated systems that complicate even minor repairs. An air conditioning failure, for instance, might not be mechanical. It could be a communication issue between 17 electronic modules. These layered systems don't just make diagnosis harder. They make qualified technicians harder to find and repairs more expensive. Volkswagen's electrical systems are particularly unreliable. Owners frequently report sensor failures, frozen infotainment screens, erratic navigation, and audio systems with a mind of their own. These aren't isolated bugs, they're evidence of systemic design flaws. A simple compressor issue can spiral into a full-blown system replacement, thanks to convoluted software oversight. Adding insult to injury is the scarcity of parts. Unlike Toyota or Ford, Volkswagen parts are often sourced from overseas, meaning long wait times and higher repair costs. A 3-day fix can turn into a 3-week ordeal. Then came the Dieselgate scandal, a global embarrassment that shattered consumer trust. Volkswagen deliberately programmed its diesel engines to cheat emissions tests, affecting over 80,000 vehicles in the United States alone. The aftermath included recalls, lawsuits, and plummeting resale values. Software failures have only worsened, from disappearing speedometers to malfunctioning rear-view cameras. Recent Volkswagen recalls expose a troubling trend. The brand's love for complexity is compromising safety. The cost of ownership balloons, not just because of parts and labor, but because dealership-only repairs become the norm. In resale, Volkswagens lag behind. Depreciation accelerated after Dieselgate, but even newer models suffered due to repair fears. Many owners end up stuck with cars they can't sell without absorbing a steep financial loss. Volkswagen might promise a refined driving experience, but when you're constantly chasing electrical gremlins or waiting for a part stuck in customs, even enthusiasts start to wonder whether dependable really is boring. Now, moving from Germany's over-engineered frustration to America's off-road legend gone wrong, let's talk about Jeep. They were once celebrated for all the rugged American icons they gave us, but today it ranks among the worst performing brands for reliability and customer satisfaction. Jeep's decline is all-encompassing. Every model, from the Wrangler to the Compass, suffers from repeated owner complaints. Reliability issues aren't limited to 1 or 2 nameplates. They plague the entire lineup. And it all starts with the 9-speed automatic transmission in the Cherokee, a mechanical nightmare that caused rough shifting, sudden failures, and dangerous power losses even at highway speeds. They issued patch after patch, but nothing fixed the root issues. Transmissions failed before 50,000 miles, costing owners upwards of $10,000. Even basic safety functions like engaging reverse weren't guaranteed. Outside the powertrain, Jeep's ride quality is coarse, interior materials feel cheap, and basic controls are clunky. Infotainment systems freeze, Bluetooth disconnects, and navigation is wildly unreliable. These problems are not occasional, they're part of the daily driving experience. Safety is no longer Jeep's strong point either. The brand hasn't received a top safety pick award from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety since 2019. In 2020, the Wrangler was listed among Consumer Reports' least reliable vehicles, a stunning fall for a name once synonymous with toughness. The ownership costs are staggering. Jeep owners often joke that the brand name stands for just empty every pocket, and with frequent repairs, expensive parts, and poor fuel efficiency, That quip rings true. Even loyalists are abandoning ship as Korean and Japanese competitors deliver better reliability at lower prices. Jeep had the loyalty, market share, and legacy to dominate its niche. But with every breakdown, the brand's reputation crumbles. From here, we pivot from America's crumbling reliability to Germany's premium complexity, where performance comes at a painful cost. BMW. Known as the ultimate driving machine, BMW has long delivered on performance, but not on reliability. The problem lies in BMW's engineering philosophy. Their cars are designed to push limits. Engines run hotter, suspensions ride tighter, and electronics are more advanced. The result? Parts wear faster, fail sooner, and repairs cost a small fortune. BMW's N23 engine suffers from timing chain failures that can destroy the engine without warning. The N55 engine is notorious for oil leaks requiring major engine disassembly, and the N63 V8, found in higher-end models, regularly drains batteries when parked, thanks to unnecessarily complex electronics. Depreciation is brutal. A brand new BMW M4 might cost over $80,000. Within 10 years, that same car might be worth less than one-third of its original price. While this makes used BMWs look like bargains, buyers quickly learn that the cost to maintain them outweighs the initial savings. Common maintenance items like suspension bushings, gaskets, and cooling system parts fail with surprising regularity. Repairs often require specialty tools or dealer-only diagnostics, making independent shops wary of taking on BMW work. Even when they do, labor costs skyrocket. The warranty experience? Frustrating. BMW dealers frequently deny repairs until total failure, requiring multiple service visits before acknowledging known issues. Their customer support, much like their engineering priorities, leans more toward protecting margins than helping drivers. One glaring example, a recall affecting over 720,000 vehicles due to defective water pumps that could overheat and catch fire. That's not just a nuisance, it's a safety crisis rooted in design. Dealership service compounds the problem. Owners face pushy upsells, inflated diagnostics, and inconsistent results. For many, the dealership experience is a reminder that luxury pricing doesn't guarantee premium care. BMW makes fast, beautiful, exciting cars, but unless you have deep pockets and a high pain tolerance, owning one may leave you questioning whether performance should ever come at this high a price. From Volkswagen's digital disasters to Jeep's across-the-board failures to BMW's engineering excess, these three brands show that complexity, reputation, or even price tag can't save a car brand from collapse if reliability isn't part of the equation. Chrysler. Once part of America's Big Three, Chrysler has become a cautionary tale in brand decline. Its vehicles often feel like they were thrown together in a hurry, with interiors that seem more recycled plastic than refined design. From dashboard creaks to panel misalignment, the build quality screams cost-cutting rather than craftsmanship. One major problem lies in the way Chrysler has changed hands over the years. Ownership has shifted from Daimler-Benz to Cerberus Capital Management, then to Fiat, and now to Stellantis. Each transition promised to revive the brand, but none delivered the consistency or quality customers expected. Instead of solving deep-rooted issues, these changes only masked them temporarily before passing the burden along to the next owner and the consumer. The Pacifica minivan perfectly encapsulates Chrysler's reliability problems. Positioned as a family-friendly solution for busy households, it quickly became a headache for those who bought it. There have been multiple recalls linked to engine stalling and malfunctioning cruise control systems. In 2018, 15,000 units were recalled due to a critical software failure in the engine control module. These aren't minor setbacks. They are issues that can put families at real risk on the road. When something does go wrong, many Chrysler owners face another battle: the dealership service department. Warranty claims often turn into drawn-out disputes, with dealerships blaming owners to avoid covering the cost of repairs. The warranty process is notoriously slow, creating frustration that leads many customers to pay out of pocket just to move on. Chrysler's vehicles also hit harder on the wallet than most buyers expect. The average annual repair cost sits around $680, well above the industry average. This elevated cost is compounded by the frequency of visits to the shop, especially after the warranty period ends. It's not unusual for Chrysler owners to feel like they're constantly addressing another small failure, until those small failures snowball into a serious financial burden. Despite its long history, dating back to 1925, Chrysler has failed to modernize its reputation in any meaningful way. The constant change in leadership, lack of innovation, and persistent quality issues have overshadowed the nostalgia. What was once an iconic American brand now represents a lineup filled with regrets. Chrysler's struggles set the stage for a different kind of disappointment, one hidden beneath the surface of luxury design. The next entry looks sleek, polished, and promises performance, but beneath the elegant badge lies a reliability nightmare waiting to unfold. Audi, with sharp design, impressive driving dynamics, and high-end interiors, Audi sells the dream of attainable luxury. However, the reality beneath that veneer is a long list of reliability headaches that emerge too quickly and too often. Although Audi positions itself as a luxury brand, its long-term reliability ratings suggest otherwise. According to recent J.D. Power surveys, Audi ranks only marginally above the industry average for long-term dependability. That might be acceptable for a mid-tier vehicle, but in the luxury segment, it's a red flag. For many owners, the problems start creeping in before the odometer hits 100,000 miles, and by 200,000, the car often becomes a battlefield of failing systems, engine, electronics, and everything in between. The brand's obsession with high-tech features plays a significant role in its reliability struggles. Complex electronic systems increase the number of potential failure points. Audi's vehicles are loaded with digital displays, touch-sensitive panels, and interconnected sensors that work beautifully when new, but become unreliable over time. Warning lights that won't turn off, navigation systems that lead drivers in circles, and infotainment glitches are common complaints. Then there's the cost. Replacing a fuel pump, for example, can run up to $2,000. This is just one illustration of how Audi ownership can become financially draining very quickly. Routine maintenance is also expensive, and independent mechanics often hesitate to service newer Audi models due to the complexity of the systems and the specialized tools required. Real-world experiences confirm the brand's downward trajectory. Some Q5 owners report bizarre issues, like the car alarm activating every system simultaneously, leading to emergency tows. Even basic tasks like oil changes or brake jobs often come with luxury brand price tags. The limited dealership network also means longer wait times, making the repair experience even more frustrating. Owning an Audi is like signing up for a luxury subscription plan, only you pay more the longer you stay subscribed. While fuel efficiency and interior comfort may check the right boxes, the mounting repair bills and reliability problems undermine the entire ownership experience. From Audi's high-tech traps, we move on to a brand with even deeper roots in luxury history, one that once stood as the pinnacle of engineering. However, today's vehicles are weighed down by complexity, recalls, and crumbling dependability. Mercedes-Benz, what used to be a benchmark of long-lasting luxury, has become a case study in how complex technology can compromise basic function. One of the first noticeable issues is the paint. After Mercedes switched to water-based paints around, many models began showing premature signs of rust, an embarrassing flaw for a brand that built its image on longevity. Buyers spending upwards of $70,000 did not expect to see bubbling paint and corroding wheel wells. Technological complexity is another Achilles heel. Dual-clutch transmissions need frequent servicing, and skipping oil changes by even a small margin can result in catastrophic failures. The 7-gear Tronic automatic gearbox, once praised for its performance, has proven to be particularly sensitive. Without perfect maintenance, its lifespan shortens drastically, leaving owners with costly repairs that often fall just outside of warranty protection. Mechanical component failures further add to the misery. Hydraulic engine mounts wear out and cause unpleasant vibrations. Air suspension systems lose pressure and leave the vehicle sitting unevenly. And even gearbox mounts can deteriorate quickly, resulting in cabin rattling and annoying drivetrain noise. These aren't isolated incidents. They are common occurrences across multiple Mercedes models. Repair costs are not kind either. Replacing major components frequently crosses the $1,000 threshold. Poor fuel economy exacerbates the financial impact, as Mercedes vehicles often prioritize performance over efficiency. The 2024 2024 model year GLC, for example, has already seen 4 recalls, one for a potentially fatal brake system fault. Mercedes-Benz ownership comes with a promise of prestige, but that promise is no longer matched by product integrity. Today, luxury buyers are finding smoother, more reliable rides in brands that cost far less and deliver far more in long-term satisfaction. From rust to rattles, the Mercedes nameplate no longer guarantees what it used to. Next up, we dive into a brand that doesn't just struggle with mechanical consistency. It suffers from catastrophic engine failures, crumbling electronics, and repair bills that feel like financial sabotage. Jaguar. This is a brand so plagued with reliability issues that simply searching its name online brings up page after page of ownership regrets. Jaguar has become a textbook example of how luxury features and high-performance branding mean nothing when constant failures dominate the ownership experience. Jaguar ranks near the bottom in almost every major reliability survey, holding the 29th spot out of 32 brands. That alone would make most buyers think twice, but the problems run far deeper. One of the most damaging issues involves the Ingenium diesel engines, which have earned a reputation for self-destructing without warning. These powertrains, meant to symbolize the brand's engineering revival, instead became a ticking time bomb under the hood. Electronic failures are another constant frustration. Infotainment screens fade or go black altogether. Gear selectors sometimes refuse to rise when the engine starts, and seat adjustment controls simply stop responding. These aren't minor glitches. They're the kind of failures that make daily use feel like a gamble. Nowhere are these issues more pronounced than in the F-Pace lineup. This flagship model has suffered from a long list of systemic flaws, including overheating engines, faulty instrument clusters, and mysteriously drained batteries that leave owners stranded. In 2019, Consumer Reports ranked the F-Pace as the least reliable vehicle on the market. Jaguar issued 12 manufacturer safety recalls tied to this model alone, signaling an alarming lack of quality control. Owning a Jaguar is expensive in every way imaginable. Annual maintenance costs exceed $1,100, nearly double the industry average of $652. What's worse is that more unscheduled repairs occur compared to nearly any other brand, and when those failures happen, there is a 14% chance the issue will be severe. That means you're not just visiting the shop often, you're paying large sums each time. Jaguar's design language hasn't significantly changed since 2014, which makes its lack of reliability even harder to swallow. You're not getting cutting-edge technology, just the illusion of progress wrapped in an aging chassis. What makes it worse is the post-sale support. Owners routinely complain about long wait times, unhelpful service reps, and dealerships that deflect responsibility instead of resolving problems. With a brand positioned as a symbol of British elegance and performance, this level of after-sales neglect is unacceptable, leaving Jaguar's broken promises behind. The next entry may surprise you. It's a brand that earned its reputation by keeping families safe, but behind the curtain, its reliability record has taken a dangerous turn for the worse. Volvo. Reliability used to be a Volvo's strength, but modern models are riddled with problems that safety features alone can't protect you from. The XC90 has been a particular failure. It dragged Volvo to the bottom of Consumer Reports with a dismal score of 22 out of 100. Infotainment issues are common, especially with the Sensus system, which regularly freezes or goes blank. Sometimes it needs full resets just to display basic functions. Volvo's advanced safety systems aren't much better. Radar and camera sensors often malfunction or disengage, leaving adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist completely disabled. These are the very features that make Volvos appealing, and they're among the least reliable components in the vehicle. Mechanically, things aren't much better. Owners report power tailgates that operate randomly, suspension noise, and premature brake wear. Recalls for misconfigured airbags added insult to injury, undermining the brand's core identity. 3 model years stand out as especially problematic: the 2021 XC90, the 2022 XC60, and the 2023 XC40. These vehicles have been magnets for complaints, particularly around software and sensor failures. Financially, Volvo isn't cheap, with average annual maintenance costs nearing $800 and 10-year ownership totals exceeding $13,500. The cost of keeping one on the road is high. A single software bug even triggered a brake assist failure, a safety issue caused by poor programming. Though Volvo's image remains intact in commercials, real-world ownership tells a different story, one that increasingly sends families to Lexus, Acura, or even Kia in search of lasting value. From Swedish restraint, we now shift to Silicon Valley ambition, a car company that revolutionized the industry, but now finds itself tangled in quality issues as fast as it innovates. Tesla. Tesla has a problem. The electric giant that redefined performance and digital integration, while simultaneously becoming one of the most polarizing brands in automotive history. Tesla's cars look futuristic, accelerate like supercars, and boast software capabilities that make competitors feel stuck in the past. Yet, beneath that innovation lies a harsh reality. These vehicles are often built like prototypes delivered at full retail price. Tesla's quality issues begin with fit and finish. Panels are frequently misaligned, gaps between body parts vary from side to side, and interior trims creak or rattle under normal driving conditions. Even something as fundamental as weather sealing isn't guaranteed. Owners frequently report excessive wind noise, squeaks, and the occasional water leak after a rainstorm. The Model X's Falcon wing doors are a perfect case study in flashy innovation gone wrong. These doors often misread nearby obstacles, fail to seal properly, and occasionally stop working altogether. The panoramic windshield, intended to dazzle, has been the subject of complaints about stress cracks and poor visibility in certain lighting conditions. What sets Tesla apart, for better or worse, is its total reliance on a central touchscreen. There are no traditional stalks, no instrument cluster, and almost every function is accessed through a tablet interface. While it may impress in a showroom, this dependence becomes frustrating when the screen freezes or malfunctions, leaving drivers without controls for headlights, wipers, or temperature. Service is another sore spot. Wait times stretch for weeks, parts are often unavailable, and mobile service appointments are routinely delayed or rescheduled. Tesla has expanded quickly, but its infrastructure hasn't kept up. For customers outside major metro areas, getting basic repairs can be an ordeal. When it comes to reliability scores, Tesla is all over the map. The Model 3 and Model Y have achieved average reliability, but the Model S and Model X remain consistently below average. In fact, Consumer Reports initially refused to recommend the Model X due to recurring issues. Despite this, owner satisfaction remains unusually high. Tesla fans love the instant torque, sleek design, and the company's vision for a greener future. But for many, the love wears thin once the repair bills and service delays start piling up. In the words of one disillusioned owner, it's impressive, but try loving it. You'll find more warmth in your toaster. Cold, calculating, and ahead of its time in all the wrong ways, Tesla remains one of the boldest experiments in modern automotive history, and one of the most unreliable. Ford. Taking the second spot is Ford. More specifically, the disaster that was the power-shift, dual-clutch transmission in the Fiesta and Focus. What was meant to be an affordable, fuel-efficient alternative to traditional automatics became one of the most notorious engineering failures in recent automotive history. The power shift transmission was installed in the Fiesta from 2011 to 2016, and in the Focus from 2012 to 2016. Owners across the country quickly discovered the truth. Shuddering, slipping, and jerking were common from day one. Some cars would hesitate while accelerating, others would lurch forward without warning, and many simply refused to shift at all. Ford attempted to fix the issue with extended warranties and transmission control module replacements, but these measures often failed to solve the core problem. Rather than issuing a full recall, Ford chose a slow, reactive approach. Thousands of drivers found themselves returning to dealerships repeatedly with no permanent resolution. Eventually, Ford settled a class action lawsuit, but the damage was done, both to the vehicles and to their reputation. Compounding the issue were widespread door latch failures on both models. Some owners reported doors swinging open while driving, adding serious safety concerns to an already shaky driving experience. Initially, the Fiesta and Focus were seen as smart urban cars with attractive pricing and good gas mileage. But as the transmission problems became public, sales collapsed. By 2019, Ford discontinued both models entirely. In the used market, their value has plummeted. Today, even well-maintained examples are difficult to sell without deep discounts. For many owners, it was more than just an inconvenience. years. It was an expensive lesson. Transmission replacements cost thousands. Warranty coverage was inconsistent, and trade-in values dropped so low that many felt stuck with cars they no longer trusted. Ford's failure to fully own the issue left a lasting scar on its small car legacy. From a legacy brand derailed by one critical misstep, we turn now to a company that stumbled straight out of the gate, one that still charges luxury prices for unfinished products. Rivian. At number 1 is Rivian, the electric startup that promised to reinvent the pickup and SUV, only to become the least reliable brand on the road today. According to Consumer Reports, Rivian scored just 14 out of 100 on its reliability scale, the lowest of any automaker. As a new player in the market, Rivian had everything to prove, yet many early buyers found themselves acting as beta testers. Owners report major issues with charging systems, electric motors, and battery packs. Some trucks struggle to start in cold weather, others won't charge properly, and many experience drive system failures that leave them stranded. The problems extend beyond the drivetrain. Paint quality is inconsistent, trim pieces misalign, water leaks into door panels. Drivers have reported squeaks, rattles, and hardware failures within the first few thousand miles. These are not isolated complaints. They reflect a company still learning how to build at scale. Technology adds another layer of frustration. Rivian's vehicles rely heavily on a central touchscreen, which controls nearly every major function. When that screen freezes or malfunctions, basic tasks like adjusting climate controls or activating lights become impossible. Glitches are common, and software updates often introduce new problems while trying to fix old ones. Perhaps the biggest issue is service. Scheduling repairs can take weeks, especially for those who live far from major cities. Mobile technicians are often booked out and parts are in short supply. That means when something breaks, which it often does, owners can be without their vehicle for extended periods. Yet here's the twist. Despite all these issues, Rivian still enjoys sky-high owner satisfaction. An incredible 86% of owners say they would buy again. Why? Because when the trucks do work, they're fast, futuristic, and unlike anything else. With up to 400 miles of range, advanced off-road capability, and a luxury-grade interior, Rivian delivers excitement few brands can match. Still, excitement is no substitute for dependability. At the end of the day, Rivian sits at number 1, not because of one failed model or a recall. It's because the entire ownership experience feels unfinished. It's startup energy with luxury pricing. And for many, that trade-off simply doesn't hold up. But let me ask you, are unreliable cars worth the risk? Or have you owned one that defied expectations? Share your story, subscribe, and thanks for watching.